Alright guys, so doing my normal joyride route, and again want to talk about the NC700X that I currently have. Now it's interesting because a couple days ago there was a YouTube video review of the new NC750X 2025 year model with updated LCD screen, full color LCD screen, and also updated riding modes, and also slightly updated ergonomics, I believe. And there was someone mentioning about whether this bike should be a beginner's bike or not. So one of the comments said, "Oh, this is absolutely not a beginner's bike." Reason being, it's a 700 and plus cc bike. And I went on there, I chipped in my opinion, since I literally own this bike. For a lot of people who never rode this bike and only reading from the spec sheet, yeah, this might sound like an overkill middleweight bike, but again, this bike is literally designed for city use with a very low RPM range, lots of torque, but it's not gonna go any fast. So in that sense, it is 100% a great beginner bike to start on. The only time that I say in my previous review that this is not a beginner's bike is in a sense that if you are a short rider, okay, I'm 5'7", I cannot have both feet on the ground confidently. Like, I just cannot reach, the ground with both feet flat. In that sense, if your height is not there, this should not be your first bike. For a lot of people, I think it's gonna develop more confidence as you ride if you start with a bike that you can have both feet on the ground. In that sense, no, I wouldn't recommend it for short riders. But for anybody else, maybe you're taller, first time on the bike, and you need a bike as a beginner's bike, this bike definitely fits the bill. Okay, so yeah, that's my 2 cents on whether you should start out on this bike as a beginner's bike. You absolutely can. And the interesting thing is, in Japan, when they do motorcycle safety training or like motorcycle licenses, they oftentimes start on the NC700, and nowadays probably NC750X. Reason being, this bike is very easy to ride, it's very, very controllable, okay? Even if you twist the throttle to the max, you're getting a lot of pull, but you're not getting a lot of speed. And just keep that in mind. You should be happy with this bike as a beginner's bike. Now the second thing I want to talk about in this video is that need to make clear, anybody looking at buying a 700/750X and thinking you're gonna use this for adventure riding, which means more than gravel roads, okay, dirt, mountain trails, whatever, desert, no, this is not an adventure bike, okay? This is purely 100% a city commuter and a touring machine. This machine goes very comfortably at 75 miles to 80 miles per hour on the highway. Absolutely no vibration, very comfortable, okay, very comfortable. And in the city, again, this high torque, low gearing, like low RPM engine is living the dream in NC700X. So again, if you're thinking about adventuring, doing some modifications, changing the oil weight, getting the adventure / off-road tires, please don't. This is purely 100% a city bike. And the tall gearing is also, again, great for city riding. I don't have to switch gears as often as I need. And that's a fun part, because you're not stressed when you're riding on the street in this bike. And as you can see, I'm going just through local neighborhoods and stuff. No stress, very easy to ride. And I'm riding to the beach. And the clutch very affirmative, very easy to operate, very light compared to my F800R, which has a very mushy transmission and also a very tight clutch. So in that regard, yeah, very easy to ride bike. It's also very quiet. It doesn't matter what kind of pipes you're gonna put on this bike, it's a very, very quiet bike. You cannot hear the engine once your speed is picked up above 40, 50 miles per hour, okay? You just cannot hear the engine. It's quiet. Even though I have a Delcalvic exhaust on there, I don't really hear anything. Like, the exhaust note is pleasant, not intrusive at all. Okay, so I'm gonna just turn here, and we're halfway to the beach, so hopefully I can go to the beach and get some glamour shots on this bike. And again, just testing the bike, testing the new tires, testing the suspension, the fork. So far the fork seems to be doing its job. No leaks, so that's good. And there is a nice cycling group. One thing I want to talk about, engine braking on this parallel twin is very significant. So if you're the kind of person that uses engine braking a lot, you don't like to use your brakes, this bike is very good at producing a lot of engine brake, especially at first, second, maybe a little bit on the third gear. So yeah, not like some other bikes that doesn't give you a lot of especially I-Force 4-cylinder bikes doesn't give you a lot of engine braking, but this bike gives you a lot. Okay, so and riding position is like sitting on a very comfortable chair. You're not gonna have any area that's gonna be fatigued. The leg is a lot more stretched compared to my F800R. So very, very comfortable. And on my F800R, my body is more leaned forward and my leg is a little more cramped. But on this bike, everything's like super relaxed. So a very comfortable bike overall. And again, if you guys can remember that what I said, this bike is a 100% city commuter / highway tour. It is not designed for any kind of off-road use. You would be very, very, very happy with this bike. Okay, and also very economical. Okay, fuel mileage, the miles per gallon is probably above 60, hovering around 70. Okay.